Hello to my patrons and the people who waited a year. I'm having a cranky day, and here's why. I'm double mic'd. Why is that? Well, I bought a new microphone because you may have noticed last week there was no microphone. And, oh wait, I need a thumbnail. Monsters. There, I'm a monster. But you already knew that. I'll get into the technical stuff in the bonus episode. But yeah, I have a backup mic currently running because fuck off. The new iPhone port doesn't work with all my mic equipment, and apparently it doesn't work with current mic equipment either. The brand new mic that I just bought, in addition to the dumb fucking dongle that doesn't work either, neither of them work 100% of the time with my phone. The new microphone, I literally tested this 80% of the time. I did 10 test clips under different scenarios. 2 of them came up with no audio. I'm not happy about it. I've gone over my 1 minute thing, so now I guess I just got to keep talking because I have to mentally edit the time in my head. Because, as always, folks, this is a slapdash duct tape and spit production that you are supporting. Frankly, it would go against the entire aesthetic of the show if I had fancy equipment. Because as we all know, the quality of a podcast comes down to the neon light strips that they have behind them while they record it, and nothing else. Anyway, sorry if I'm bitter. I just keep trying to keep this trash heap burning for y'all. And life says no. Anyway, it's the monster episode. I have to incorporate the names of 25 monsters. But first, let me think of an opening line. They're coming to get you, Billy. It's probably better for a zombie-specific episode. Also, that doesn't count. We're not in the gimmick zone yet. This is where the theme song goes, and I'm just hoping that when this is done, I don't have to sync 2 fucking media sources. Love you so much for supporting me and following along, but whoo-wee am I going through it right now. All right. You're listening to Fix My Carcast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy, and this is episode 146. Comedian and musician Keith Hebert will join us after the hunt, but first, housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to the GoFundMe, and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level, and also get bonus episodes and behind-the-scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. Get yourself some merch. Go a-hunting in the woods late at night. Maybe you'll capture something on a deer camera. What is it? It's a Fix My Carcast t-shirt. Or if you don't want to go through all that hassle, just go to my TeePublic, get some merch. Do I need more merch? I'm going off script here. Do I need more merch? I don't know. I feel like I go hard on merch whenever I start a new project, and then like whatever I make gets like 10 listeners, so I've wasted all that effort. But hey, if there's something from this show that you want on a t-shirt, you let me know. I'll do a sexy pin-up Mrs. Sponge, whatever. Hey, we have a new donor this week. Thank you, Annalisa, for donating $5. The total raised for paying off my car repair debt is now $2,327. And also, I forgot your round of applause. Round of applause for Annalisa. Thank you for getting me to $2,327. Also, when we get to $3,000, it unlocks an automatic show gimmick, which is, I will record an episode at sea. Fun fact, did you know that this whole podcast disappears when we hit $10,000? Stake it in the heart, shoot it with a silver bullet, and remove its head or destroy its brain. Sorry, I had a burp on deck. I don't edit, I don't go back. Have a snort for good measure. Hey, do you like the theme song? No? Well, if you make a donation of $50 or more, in addition to picking an episode topic, you get to change one thing about the theme song forever. Unless somebody else changes it back. Want me to make it sound like the Monster Mash? I'll do it. $50. Also, if you would like to own the painting I made in episode 118, I'll be giving it away to the next person who donates $100 or more. That's right, own a piece of Fix My Carcast history while you still can. If you'd like to see the painting before you buy it, it can be viewed in the raw video version of episode 118 over on Patreon. Link is in the description. And yeah, the painting's in the room. Why do I have to keep telling you every week that the painting is in the room? Do you think this is a scam where I'm going to send you a different painting than the painting in episode 118? Look into this. Get the facts straight. Join my Patreon, watch the video versions, and then you too can see the painting that you will be buying. Why am I harping on this point for so long? Why am I continuing to harp on this point? Ask some questions. Think for yourself. Eat the lore. Now it's time for a... Oh, sorry, my bad. No new patrons this week. Bummer. Now it's time for a topic suggestion. I'll suggest topics I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly, I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is the dumbest ways I've asked somebody out. This may be hard to believe, but I was a socially awkward teenager. Want to know more? Donate today. You will be reliving some painful memories with me. Special note to donors. I don't even know what this is. Why did I write this in here? Oh, I know why. Next week's episode will be the annual Halloween Horror Review. So if you sponsor a topic between now and then, your topic will be bumped to the following episode. That's right, next week is the Halloween special, and no taken topics for the holiday specials. So that one will be me reviewing the 31 horror movies that I watched in October. Okay, checking in on the best city in the world, based on which city listened to the last episode the most, and our big winner is Westbrook, Maine. Congratulations, Westbrook, Maine. Let it be known that your Urquhart Castle, Farragag Forest, and Plata Falls are the best in the world for 7 days. Apologies for all those pronunciations. Last episode, I talked about Rampa Drag Club while putting a razor blade in an apple. You can see video of all the raw footage, plus a little extra, over on Patreon. Also, head over to Patreon for a bonus episode where I talk about building a DeLorean Lego set. Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick poll. These are your choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are: do it like an interrogation, do it like a bad horror sequel, do it like an Unsolved Mysteries episode, and our returning gimmick, do it like a drill sergeant. Let's review. Number 1, do it like an interrogation. You know, when you watch a police procedural or maybe a war movie and, you know, they've got someone with a lamp in their face and they're asking them a bunch of questions. It'll be that. Unless, number 2, do it like a bad horror sequel. Now, why a bad horror sequel? Well, any horror series on a long enough timeline gets insane and bizarre and weird. So, if that one wins, next week's episode will have all the typical plot points that you normally see in a bad horror sequel. Number 3, do it like an Unsolved Mysteries episode. When I wrote this, I didn't know that Unsolved Mysteries is back. I have not watched the new one. We're going Robert Stack. It's Stack or it's whack. Those are my opinions on Unsolved Mysteries. So if you want me to talk like Robert Stack, I will do that one. Don't say I don't know the hip references all the kids are into. Y'all love yourself some Robert Stack. Our returning gimmick number 4, do it like a drill sergeant. Yeah, I'll do my best. Arlie Ermy, I will get it in there. I will make it work. I will make it happen. And keep in mind, this is also the Halloween episode. So I will also have to review 31 films. Technically, when it airs, it'll come up short of 31, but like at least 25. I will have to review 25 films with whatever this gimmick is. So just so you know, that's what's on the table. Pick the one that you think will be the best and the most funnest and the goodest. All right. Remember that any gimmick that gets just a single vote is eligible for a second chance in 6 weeks. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday, October 24th at noon Eastern America time. All right, time for today's gimmick, which is incorporate 25 monsters. I have to hide the names of 25 monsters somewhere in the episode. They can be old mythology, they can be new horror classics, just monsters, broad definition of monsters. That's what I'm going for. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. But now, we are entering the gimmick zone. From this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. Today's topic comes to us from Annalisa for $5. And let me just read you what she said here. Quote, I am a big musical theater fan and thought your musical episode was hilarious and well done. 3 applause emojis. Found it in the musical threads hashtag. By the way, I'm on Threads. Go find me. No topic ideas. Just wanted to support since you gave me a much needed distraction this morning while dealing with my 2-year-old. So, I feel like the way this show works is I have to use whatever the donors give me as my jumping off inspiration. Now you may notice no topic ideas. That phrase was specifically in there. So thank you, Annalisa, for being nice enough to write me a little something to let me know how you found the show and how you became a donor. Thank you so much for that donation. Again, the no topic ideas really sounds like, well, Billy, you got to go in without a topic. But I figure since this episode is for Annalisa, and also she only gave $5, and around here, the more you donate, the more work I put into it. So I've done no research, and what I have chosen to do with this is to talk about the musical episode of Fix My Car Cast. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there's a bit of a twofold reason for this. Number one, I want Annalisa to get a little bang for her buck. And number two, to be honest, not enough people have listened to the musical episode. So a musical episode is the kind of gimmick that you don't want to pull out like too early. I say this, Strange New Worlds, Star Trek, they do a musical episode in the 2nd season. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel like musical episode is a gimmick that you want to pull out towards the end. I have not said any monsters yet, as far as I know, but I do have a piece of paper here to do tally marks so that I can make sure that I incorporate them. Also, I'm not counting the generic word monster. I don't think that counts towards the total, unless you think it does. Is the monster one of history's greatest monsters? Here's the thing. I did the musical episode too early. It is only, I believe, episode 35 of Fix My Car Cast. I'm also going to let you know, Annalisa, I don't think you're about to jump over to the Patreon, but there are lots of bonus goodies over on the Patreon that you can go check out. It's kind of like how a vampire works. You need to be invited in first. The toll is the cost of Patreon. But there is an entire bonus episode where I talk about making the musical episode. And there is video, behind the scenes video, literally of me composing the songs. Excuse me. So go check that out. I've decided I'm going to talk about making the musical episode in a forum that you get to hear it for free. Because, Annalisa deserves a little something, especially for chasing that little gremlin around all morning. Again, I'm thrilled that Annalisa loved the episode. But let me tell you what sucks more than a chupacabra. I can't play live. I can't play music live. So the first bit of, I think, important trivia about the musical episode is that it is not a live episode. Everything is totally scripted and written in advance. Had to do it though, because I can't play, I also, I can't sing either. I'm no siren. I So I like it all had to be post-production. In an ideal world where I had a budget for this show, I would love to do an improvised musical episode in the future. So keep those donations coming because I have some very talented musician friends, and if they do the music, I can probably kind of improvise something live. You know, I'm about to cheat on this one. I'm a big fan of epic rap battles of history, which was a really big inspiration in the song Kick It by the Picket. If you've never listened to... I'm a stinker for this one. If you've never listened to epic rap battles of history, I believe their most recent episode was Godzilla versus King Kong. So check that one out. They're a lot of fun. They pit a lot of like historical and pop cultural figures up against each other, and they put a lot of information in there. And so, you know, if somebody was like, oh, what are the musical inspirations behind Mrs. Sponge the Musical, you might think Hamilton because there's a rap song in there. And I am trying to give it kind of a Lin-Manuel cadence. But yeah, no, not more inspired by epic rap battles of history. I really like the way they pack information into their lyrics. It's wordplay, being a nerd, and beats all at once, and that kind of shit I just absolutely love. So, you know, check it out if you're... go check it out, but don't stay too long. Don't linger. That's a song by the Cranberries, who also wrote Zombie. So yeah, check those out. And then the other songs. So yeah, and I apologize if I'm repeating any information that's in bonus materials. But you know, I'm just kind of mishmashing my thoughts here. So Annalisa, I'm glad you liked it. Hilarious and well done. I'm going to fully take that compliment. Because shit. I'm gonna fully take that compliment because, like, you know, a big part of it was both humor and music. And I'm not very talented in a musical theory sort of way. Like, I'm a beat producer. I don't necessarily do the chords, so to speak. Which I know sounds real stupid, but like, I am a draw it, hit play, and see how it sounds. Deadmau5, which is not a monster. I know that's the way he composes stuff. Holy shit, I gotta get going on these monsters. But that's the thing. Deadmau5 can't play an instrument, and yet he makes music. I'm such a shitbird, which I don't think is a monster. And yeah, I'm the same way. It's all producer stuff for me. It's all just making beats. And so yeah, like the chords in like that opening song. And I thought I had a folder of all the songs open, but I guess I forgot. Here we go, musical tracks. So yeah, I also need to hype this up for people who maybe haven't listened to the musical episode. Go check it out. It is a musical about loving your home but hating your neighbors. That was the topic that I was given. And by the way, I'm not going to count Mrs. Sponge as a monster. If anything, she's misunderstood. But oh yeah, so here's the shape of the musical. It's basically confronting. It's you have a song. It's about loving the home but hating the neighbor. So the first song is. The first song is I Bought a House, so song about loving the house. Then you got your villain song, Bring Me My Sponge, that's about hating the neighbor. Calendar Page, which I shouldn't really count as a full track. I will give you the behind the scenes on Calendar Page. That was straight up, I fucked up, and I forgot that there needed to be a passage of time, and I had not written a song or a scene or anything. So I farted out Calendar Page, which has the exact same structure as Bring Me My Sponge. So that's the story behind that. Be a Decent Neighbor. That's the third, I call it the third track. Again, Calendar Page, I guess that's a reprise. I don't know if you're a stickler. But Jesus, I have to get way more monsters in. Jesus is not a monster. Though, does rise from the grave. We're not going there. We're not going there. Plus, I think I already mentioned zombies in a real half-assed way. Oh, what's that ass demon? Shit. There's an ass demon, but I can't remember what it's called. We're not counting ass demon. But we could count demon. Yeah, let's count demon. Ass or no. Don't you hate when a demon has a flat ass? Anyway, so yeah, there's I bought a house. That's track 1. Bring Me My Sponge. That's track 2. Be a Decent Neighbor, track 3, and then Kick It by the Picket is when they square off. Our hero and our villain, like, head to head. And I'll be completely honest. Thank you for complimenting my musical, Annalisa. Or Lisa Ann, I'm so sorry. I've gotten it backwards like 5 times in my head. Annalisa. My one biggest, like, my story complaint is, it has no ending. Like, the story just kind of ends. It's just he gets stoned and that's that. Oh God, I haven't seen this movie, so I can't count that one. So yeah, my biggest problem with the musical episode is that it does not have an ending. It's just the character decides to get stoned and forget about his problems. So I've always thought that, like, it could have. I did that one already. It could have, a logical. It could have a, shit. It could have an offspring. It could have a sequel. It could have a second one. Like the Hydra. It just keeps growing new heads. Oh boy. And so, I had a very singular focus, like one eye, like a cyclops, which was just to get it done in time. So I wrote the entire musical from nothing to something in 2 weeks. I actually had a meeting with Anonymous 4 about, like, some of the details that I could put into the script. And for legal purposes, a lawyer is not a kind of monster. For legal purposes, there's I'm not going to tell you what was and wasn't suggested by him. Some things are an all Billy creation. Some things are an Anonymous 4 creation. And that's all I will say. But extremely loosely based on an actual neighbor. But then I had to take, like, a bunch of liberties just to, make it its own thing. So I hope... Again, having never written a musical, but, like, I've seen a lot. I don't go to Broadway shows because I'm not made of money. I can't afford to see Young Frankenstein or the one about the witch. Hey! Thank you. And so I feel like some people might take issue with just the blanket term of witch. So, the one about the Wicked Witch there. Yeah, that's, I don't know my Broadway, but, I know my Disney musicals. I quite literally watched a special feature on the Little Mermaid. I said Siren. I know they're technically different. I'm not going to count that one. Because is a mermaid a monster? I mean, how are we defining a monster? Though also I got 10 left, so maybe we should count that. Anyway, Howard Ashman. Howard Ashman used to give these talks on how to write a musical, and I watched that special feature, and I gotta be honest, that did most of the heavy lifting. That and a program that I have on my computer that lets you figure out like logical chord progressions. Like it's hell, I could show you in the video version. Yeah, it's literally a chord sequencer where it's like you literally punch in like, here's the general tone of what I'm going for, here's the key it's in, and it gives you like probability of this chord being next. It's wild stuff. They there's a lot of negative talk around AI right now. We'll still have to see if it leads to a Terminator uprising. But at the very least, I think we are safe with just using technology to making art a little easier. And not to go off on a tangent, but like I think that's kind of where the line is on AI. And of course, I'm talking about artificial intelligence, the concept, not the film about a little robot boy who wants to meet a blue fairy. Is a fairy a monster? I don't. I'm gonna keep trying on that one. Oh gosh. I use a lot of tools because I'm a dumb when it comes to making music. But I feel like there is a line like somewhere between like, hey, I need some help with this, and click a button, it does it for you. Like I feel like that's a distinct difference. Nothing musical on this podcast will ever be made with AI. I did make an episode with ChatGPT, but in fairness, that was back before we started getting properly terrified of this shit. I don't know what's coming for us. Nevertheless, this just came to me. Plurals count. Making this musical was a big feat. They use it in Harry and the Hendersons. It counts. Does Harry count, though? Making this musical was a very big feat for me because, musically, it's like I don't do sing-songy stuff. I do beats. I do more experimental stuff. I don't do the traditional musical kind of sound. Holy fuck! I have to get through 8 more monsters. It was a real struggle. Let me tell you, it was like I was staying up a lot of late nights just howling at the moon like a werewolf trying to get it done. It was really tough. Now, almost every episode of this show is made in just 1 week, regardless of if it's a live episode or not. And of course, shit, no, that's not gonna work. But this is the rare exception where I did it in 2 weeks, and I only allowed myself 2 weeks because of my lack of musical skill. Not that I can't make music, I just can't make that type of music. Which I don't think is unfair. If you paid Gwar to make a bluegrass album tomorrow, I think they would have some struggles. Oh, fuck. Really? I opened up the metal band names and I can't get a single monster out of that? Cannibal Corpse. Which I guess would be a zombie. Fuck, that's cheating too. This is a really hard one. I just had to deal with all the little voices in my brain saying that you can't do this. I stomped those ghoulies right out, and I told myself, no, I can do this. I can win. I can make this happen. I can go the distance. To quote Hercules, a movie with Fuck, a monster. I already said. Damn it. I gotta do more mythology. No, fuck it. I gotta do modern movies. Who are the modern monsters? Well, man. It's always man, right? It's the hunter that killed Bambi's mama. A monster. Possibly. Discuss. So anyway, Mrs. Sponge, has a very like growly, gravelly voice. Not unlike maybe the Baba Yaga, which I don't know if she's a monster or if her chicken house is the monster. No, I was gonna say this house is a real monster house. That should count, though. I said I wouldn't count monster, but Monster House is a specific monster. I'm gonna count Monster House. Fuck off. I'm really struggling here. I got 4 more to go. Anyway, you can learn a lot more about these songs. Gosh, I feel like there's some like music theory stuff that I'm just blanking on right now. Be a decent neighbor. Bring Me My Sponge. That had a very like ragtime feel, which I've written some ragtime. 4 more monsters. 4 more monsters. 4 more monsters. 4 more monsters. Hey, I could use real monsters from history. We're not going to go there. Real monsters! The characters from that show. They would count, right? But anyway, no real monsters. I'm not just going to rattle off the names of a bunch of real-life serial killers and call that counting, even though maybe it probably should. Anyway, so yeah, I answered the call. Not the call of Cthulhu, but I answered the call to make a musical episode, and I have done that. And so, if you haven't listened to it, if you right now are like, there's a musical episode of this show, episode 35, it's still the most popular. It's still got more downloads than anything else. It is just, oh man, yeah, it is, no. I was gonna say it's eating everything in sight like a Tribble, but I don't know, to start. Is a Tribble a monster? If it's cute, is it a monster? Like, I'm not counting any of these, I'm just asking questions. Like, is a Mogwai a monster and a Gremlin is a monster, or just Gremlins are monsters? How do we even define a monster? Like, or are we talking about monsters from the id? Yeah, Forbidden Planet, sure. That is a specific monster. I already said Mogwai, so I guess we can count it. But no, let's keep going. Let's move on. I just need one more, but it's me, and I never have confidence in myself, so I always, try to knock a few more out. Anyway, yeah, so the musical episode, so glad that you liked it. Oh, Annalisa. Thank you so much for listening. Probably not appropriate for a 2-year-old, though. Literally an entire song about getting stoned. Don't you don't want your kid turning into a little turning into a little monster. God, I just need one. I just need one more. So yeah, thanks for listening. And okay, what do you want, you little shit? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can come right down. Okay. Yeah, sure. Sorry about what I said earlier. Yeah, I'll be right down there. I gotta go. As always, Mike Wazowski. Gang, I had a brain fart. I forgot I was supposed to say stuff on the other side of the call. My bad. It hit me a second too late. And then I realized I can't start this episode over because I forgot how the phone calls work on this show. So will you permit me to do the voice right now? Thanks so much. You're a peach. Here's, again, generally improvised, what I was planning to say on the other end of the call, because we have to lead into our Halloween episode. Here's your peek behind the curtain. Let me get back into the mode of what I wanted to say there. Man, I had like 30 seconds to go and I fucked up because I forgot how things work on this show. It's fully improvised and you have to talk out loud if you want people to hear stuff. It's very embarrassing. I'm not proud of what I'm about to do, but I'm also not about to redo the entire episode because I fucked up one thing at the very end. Whoa, Billy, what are you talking about? This is Detective Carpenter down at the precinct. We need you to come in and answer some questions. We got some new leads on the Spectre Dome killer. Oh, fuck, I forgot his name, too. This is breaking the rules of improv. I feel really bad about this. Fuck. I'm really fucking this up, folks. Here's your peek behind the curtain. Slight editing on this one because I fucking forgot. I started to act like I was listening to a phone call and then I was like, oh, that's not how it works. Fuck. I feel really bad about this, but my brain is mashed potatoes. Also, did I get in all the monsters? I sure hope so. I did not do any bonus ones at the end, so we'll see what happens. Okay, let me do this again. Now I have to remember what I said earlier and make this fit in there. Whoa, Billy, what are you talking about? This is Detective Carpenter down at the precinct. We need you to come answer some questions for us. We got some leads on the Spectre Dome killer. I think that's all I needed. Fuck. Anyway, time to see if this has any audio whatsoever. Love my life. And you should love it too.